Dear colleague, dear participants, today I present an interdisciplinary study exploring the intersection between natural and cultural heritage in the ancient kingdoms of Alada and Dahomey in Southern Republic of Benin. This work, conducted with my colleague Metowi Hospice KLEGBO, combine archaeology, ancestral forestry, and geospatial tools to reveal living memories of pre-colonial practices. For 2000 of years, human society have interacted with their environment. In Benin, the kingdom of Alada, founded from the early 16th century to 1724, and that of Dahomey from 1625 to 1892, were marked on their territory by archaeological sites often identified by plant relics. Our problematic examines how do the century-old sites associated with sacred or utilitarian traits reveal socio-political and spiritual practices. Our objectives are threefold. The first is to map seeds and plant relics in order to analyze their spatial distribution. Then, document the cultural practice associated with the seed ritual resource management, and finally, assess their ecological heritage and conservation challenge for sustainable development. Alada, a kingdom conquered by Dahomey in 1724, and Dahomey, a pre-colonial power, offer a rich terrain. Their sacred forests, palaces, and defensive ditches are key weaknesses. For example, the Togudo site in Alada is home to anthropic mounds with sacred militia excelsa, while Abomey reveal fortified ditches like Agbodo, reinforced by thorn trees, Acacia atahacantha. The presence of these different components of the political-spatial organization of these two pre-colonial entities is the result of the practice and tradition of the different peoples who composed and structured them over a period of some centuries. Their settlement, the result of numerous migratory flows, has generated historical sites and cultural and natural spaces that are steeping in the significant parts of these royal areas in the south of what is now the Republic of Benin in West Africa. The success of this work is the application of a methodological approach accompanied by working in processing tools focusing in particular one. Ethnoarchaeological surveys have been underway since 2019 with traditional chefs such as Agbogo Mastole in historically case localities in both sectors. The survey are always accompanied by site visits accompanied by a walking survey, geolocation, characteristic description of the site and traits, photography, collection of some witness artifacts, and tree leaves for identification of the species in the National Herbarium of Benin. In order to gain an overall understanding of the geospatial organization of the various sites and species of ancient threats, the spatial and cartographic analysis methodology comprises two stages in the two study areas, Dahomey and Alada. The first stage is devoted to data processing using QGIS software following 5 steps: data loading in reference Excel spreadsheet, Sentinel forestry species, GPS coordinates located forestry practice, data exploration, description analysis, spatial analysis, and mapping. Next, SHP field of processing data exploring from QGIS are loading into ChatGPT OpenAI to maximize description and analytical exploration to produce a synthesis thesis. Of the 55 archaeological sites inventoried in the two sectors, 36 or 65% of are associated with ancestral forestry species or plants relics. More especially, Alada, 18 seats out of 27 show evidence of forestry practice, including 8 with multi-hundred years near old trees, Borassus Ethiopium, Milicia excelsa. Dahomey, 18 seats out of 28 with 15 containing century-old trees, Adansonnet digitata, Seiba pentadra. These figures confirm our hypothesis. The archaeological sites of the kingdom are identified not only by geomaterial remains, but above all by geovegetation dimension. Let's take 2 examples. At Togodo in the Alada sector, 7 man-made mounds are associated with sacred militia excelsa, evidence of royal ritual. On the Abome Plateau in the Dahomey sector, 83% of palatial sites such as Agbodo incorporate defensive species, Acacia ataca canta, proof of pre-colonial ecological engineering. This map shows the density of plant relics, geo-interpolation, and highlights correlation between species and archaeological structures. Milicia excelsa, 11 sites, and Adansona digitata, 9 sites, are concentrated around Royal Palace, example Abomey, and Sacred Forest, example Wanzon in Govier at Alada sector. Among defensive species, Acacia ataracanta and Monkurat pueriens form a corridor along the Agbodo ditch at Dahomey sector, confirming their role in pre-colonial military strategies. As for sacred streets at ritual sites, Ficus umbellata, 6 sites, and Cola gigantea, 4 sites, are systematically associated with Vodou altars, example sites ALD 1907 at Togudo. As for utilitarian species, they are best identified in old markets, Pakia bigrobosa, 3 sites, and Borassus Ethiopian, 2 sites, dominate near historic trading areas. Example, Agbojanaka market in Abome, who was princess and red mare of Dahomey kingdoms. What makes the species so special, moreover, is the disparity between certain species with spiritual and utilitarian function in each sector. The Alada areas is dominated by spiritual species, Dracaena arboreara and Tiaris toxicaria, while in Dahomey, utilitarian species such as Seiba pentadra predominate. Dear colleague, tuning now to the cultural practices that have shaping and continue to shape the identity of the kingdom of Alada and Dahomey. There are not mere traditions. There are complex systems where natural spirituality and political power intertwine. First, ancestral rituals. Take the example of the Militia Excelsa, nicknamed Beguloko in Togudo. This 300-year-old sacred tree was not just a symbol, it embodied the souls of kings during Vodun ceremonies, priests invoking the ancestors to legitimize royal power. Similarly, Kula Gigantea marking the royal tomb in the Dahomey sector of Abomey, serving as a bridge between the visible and invisible worlds. Secondly, the sacralization of the landscape at Zasa, the Daniele Oliveira was more than just a tree. It materialized in the pact between King Agaja and local deities as the as at the Ajahuto at Sokome. Stopover sits where the altar of a dance deity is marked by an assemblage of various pots bearing representation of snakes. Finally, communities practice strategic forestry. At Roja, Bligia Sapida, through delimiting the palaces, while the defensive ditches at Agbodo were reinforced with acacia atahakanta, which is a veritable pre-colonial biotechnology. This technique reveals a detailing understanding of ecosystems where each species had a role to play protection, food, or even currency like the cowries carvings under Ficus umbellata trees. The sites are reservoirs of biodiversity. The sacred forests are home to endemic species. However, 80% for the Militia Excelsa recording were cut down during the revolutionary period. Their disappearance threatened both ecology and collective memory. These losses are not just ecological, there are a rise in ancestral green engineering, Bligia sapida, planting to feed royal slaves or Acacia tahakanta, using as defensive barriers, bear witness to a know-how that is now under threat. So what we do, mapping urgency, use this and I to prioritize critical seats such as the Adansonia Digitata corridor in Leslie, community co-management involving traditional chefs such as Da, da Artisanal in ecotourism projects, integrating the policy aligns local plans with Sustainable Development Goal 15 to combat deforestation and 11 to 11 for cultural heritage. In conclusion, there's three and six are living archive of pre-colonial kingdoms. Their conversation require an interdisciplinary approach. Our prospects to extend this methodology to other regions of West Africa and create a network of memory forests. Our study is based on an interdisciplinary corpus crossing Beninese archaeological works with recent ethnobotanical data, and modern tools such as QGIS and I. We would like to thank the local community, our guides and teachers. We would also like to thank the conference organizing committee for their invaluable assistance in waiving the conference registration fee. We, we, we will be delighted to answer any question you may have so that we can discuss these issues in greater depth. Thank you very much for your attention.